morning, friends. It's time to do a little cooking with Gail today, and today I'm going to be doing a little of my favorite type of cooking, which is baking. And we're going to be baking up some lemon zucchini bread, and one of my favorite recipes to do in the summer to use up all the multiple zucchinis that we happen to have if you've got a little garden like we do. We have one zucchini plant and it is making tons and tons of zucchini, and there's lots of ways to cook zucchini, but you know, my favorite way I do believe is to make zucchini bread or muffins, and this recipe can actually be used for either one. So we're starting off today. I have my ingredients all measured out pretty much. I want to show you a couple of tools to help make this prep much faster and easier. And the first one, of course, before we get started using any tools, we're going to do a couple of prep things. We're going to turn the oven on, which I've already done. We're preheating the oven to 350. And then also, I have prepared my baking pans. Now, this recipe makes 2 loaves, and I, of course, am using my favorite stoneware piece, our loaf pan. And not a lot of preparation is needed if your stoneware is well used and well seasoned. However, I don't like to use those sprays, nonstick sprays on stoneware. However, I do use some of my Baker's Joy to spray just the bottoms and around the lower edge of my stoneware pan, just to ensure that it comes out nicely. Once you get these seasoned really well, you won't have to do that. But anyway, I have my 2 pans prepped and ready to go. And then the next thing is we have to get those ingredients ready. And the main ingredient, of course, is our zucchini. Now, our adjustable microplane grater, I know many of you have seen me use this tool a lot to shred cheese, but we're going to use it on our zucchini today. And I've already started a little pile. I'm going to be making several batches of this today, and so I'm going to need probably about 3 cups. If I do 3 batches, I'm going to need 3 cups of zucchini. And I want to show you how easy this is. You just cut the ends off of your zucchini. Now, you don't want to use those really, really large ones that have already formed seeds in the middle. These are the nice, good size right here, not much bigger than this one. Actually, I will probably look, and if I start shredding out seeds, we'll have to stop and not use that one. But all we do is just hold it firmly in your hand, and then you're just going to push down and watch how nice that grates up. Such an easy way to grate your zucchini, or any other vegetable really that you need grated up. If you want to make hash browns, you know, with your potatoes, this is a great tool to use for that as well. So it's not just a grater for cheese, although I probably do use my adjustable grater more for cheese than anything else. Now just look how quickly this goes. Now you might be seeing a lot of water or moisture coming out of this, and that is what, you know, zucchini is almost, probably has as much water in it as watermelon. About, I think 90% of a zucchini is water. And we don't want to get too much liquid in our bread. We don't want soggy bread. So what we're going to do is as soon as we get this grated, we're going to actually put some of this in a paper towel and squeeze it and try to get some of the moisture out, because too much liquid will not do well in our bread. Now we get down about right there, we're going to stop and just look at all this nicely shredded zucchini ready to be used in whatever dish you're making. And we happen to be making some lemon zucchini bread today. I'll save that one for later, but I do want to show you how we can squeeze this this zucchini and get the moisture out. So I'm going to have a little bowl here. I'm doing it with a tea towel. I actually have one over here. Let me grab it. A tea towel is just a cotton towel like this. And so let's put another handful or 2 of zucchini right into the center. Let's see, I think we only need 1 layer of this. There we go. We'll just put the rest of this zucchini in here. And then I'm just going to fold the towel around it. And then we're going to squeeze again into our bowl, and we'll see if we get any water out this time. I think the tea towel is going to work a lot better. It's not going to tear with us. And there, we're just wringing that out. And there comes more water out of that zucchini. Okay, check that out, guys. You wouldn't think about getting that much liquid out of your zucchini, but you certainly do. So let's go ahead and put this in the bowl, in the measuring cup rather, so we can see how much we have. And I know we're going to have enough to go ahead and get started with our first batch. There's our dried zucchini. And I'm just going to put the rest of this back over here on our cutting board so it'll be ready to go for the next batch a little bit later. All right. So zucchini is all ready to go into our bread. All right. Next step. Now that wasn't terribly hard, was it? I advise using the tea towel. It works much better. Okay, so let's look and see at our next step. So in a small bowl over here, I have put together 2 cups of regular flour, plain flour, 2 teaspoons of baking powder, and a ½ teaspoon of salt. So that's our dry ingredients. We've got those there, and I've whisked that together. These are our little silicone prep bowls, and my mini whisk gets a workout as always in my kitchen. Now in our large bowl here at the mixer, and this by the way is our new deluxe stand mixer, just came out a few months ago with Pampered Chef. We're going to add our 2 eggs, and we're just going to beat them up a little bit. Not going to hurt them, just beat them up a little. So let me turn this on, and we're going to put this on the beat setting, and we're going to adjust the time down to about a minute. And we're just going to turn it on and let it go. After we get our eggs beat up a little bit, we're going to add 1/2 cup of canola oil, vegetable oil, whatever you have. And we're going to add our cup of sugar. Let's see. This was actually 1 1/3 cups of regular granulated sugar. So when we get those eggs nice and fluffy, I think that looks good, so we're going to pause our mixer for just a moment. We're going to add the oil in. Let me raise up our arm a little bit so it makes it a little easier to pour in. Going to add our sugar. And we're going to continue to mix and get all of that nicely incorporated. While our mixer is going, well, it's already automatically cutting off, it's done. We're going to go ahead and continue to zest this lemon. We need the zest of 1 lemon. And this is our little zester juicer. It's a combo. It has 2 pieces that you can order from Pampered Chef. It makes zesting super easy. Also, it does have the juicer part that will fit right on here also to juice your lemon if you're just needing juice. All right, we've about got that all off. It calls for the zest of 1 lemon, which if you're not familiar with zest, that's the outer part. You don't want to get into the white. You just want to use the flavorful yellow part, the outer part of your lemon. And let's look in here and see how much we've got now. Notice a lot of that sticks to the bottom of your zester. And we're just going to rake that off into our cup. Now, since I have my zest in here, we can juice our lemon right into the top. So we're just going to add this on because we're going to add all of our lemon zest and our lemon juice in. It calls for the juice of 1 lemon. So we're just going to slice it in half and put it right on here and get all of our juice out that we can. Love to smell lemon juice. And you know, if you have a garbage disposal, the best thing to do with these lemon halves is just put them down that garbage disposal, and that will freshen that up. Anytime you're using a citrus and you're done with it, stick it down that garbage disposal. All right, so there's our lemon zest and juice ready to go. And we're gonna add that to our mixture. Then we're also gonna add some buttermilk. That's gonna make this batter really rich. So we're gonna add, I believe it was a half a cup. Let me double check here. Let's see here. Yes, 1/2 cup of buttermilk goes in. And then we're gonna blend this up a little bit more. Let's go back into our mix. Let's go to mix this time. And we're just gonna let that mix for a couple minutes. And then we're gonna add our zucchini into our wet ingredients. Our mixer, as soon as it senses it's time, it will speed up. I don't know if you've noticed that about our new deluxe mixer, but it's pretty cool. It knows, it's a smart mixer. It knows when it needs to speed up, get a little faster. All right, I'll tell you what, I'm gonna pause now. It looks like it's good and mixed. We're gonna pause and we're gonna pour in that cup of zucchini, grated zucchini. And then we're just gonna mix a little bit more. Then we'll add our dry ingredients. And then our batter will be ready to pour into those prepared pans. I heard that speed up. Did you guys hear that? Pretty cool. I love having a smart mixer. All right, we don't want to overbeat. I think that's good mixed. So we're gonna stop, and then we're gonna mix in our flour. And we're gonna mix that until it's well combined. All right, there's our dry ingredients, our flour, salt, and baking powder going in. And then we'll just continue. Now, we do not want to overbeat. When you're making bread or cake, whoops, the main thing is you don't want to overmix. This one's getting excited here. Threw some flour out on me there for a minute. But we don't want to overmix it because when you're making a bread like this or a cake, if you overmix, it will make it tough. So we don't want that to happen. All right, that is looking good. I'm going to scrape down the sides. Although with this mixer, it has these nice, there's a big long piece of zucchini in it. It has these nice scrapers, silicone scrapers on the side, so you don't have to do a lot of scraping down. There's just a little bit of flour up at the top I want to get down in there. We'll give it another 20 seconds of mixing, and then we're going to put it in our pans and stick it in the oven. Let's get this bread going. I think that looks great. So we're just gonna turn that off. And now I'm gonna move this out of my way so that I can bring our pans over here and fill them where you can see. So let me move my cutting board with our zucchini. And let's bring our pans over. All right, so like I mentioned, I have 2 of our Pampered Chef stoneware loaf pans. My favorite baking pans are stones. Get this beater scraped off a little bit there. There we go. Now let's take one last scrape around the bowl, and then we're going to just divide this equally into our 2 baking stone loaf pans. And then of course these loaves are going to bake for about 50 minutes or so. We'll just kind of watch. All ovens are different, and you just never know how long it's going to take actually if you are, especially if you're a beginning baker. So always watch. You don't want to over bake, and we'll talk about that in just a second, how you can know when it's ready. All right, let's get these evenly. I may have put a little bit too much in the first one, and we'll pick just a little bit out. We want our loaves to be equal. Actually, they look pretty close. Get all this goodness off. And when these loaves come out, we are going to top them with a powdered sugar lemon juice glaze. And so that'll be our final step once they are finished baking and cool down. All right. Well, we're going to the oven, and I will see you later when they